Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on into a very special LEGO Star Wars video. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time, and as the year is coming to a close and we're coming up to another special anniversary, I wanted to talk about how the LEGO Star Wars team, in my opinion, really dropped the ball and failed this year for a number of different reasons. And I'm not talking about the prices of sets or the structural integrity of some sets, or if a set is only a slice versus a full 360-degree sphere. And no, I'm not talking about the surplus of buildable characters, which will be a separate video coming out soon that affects LEGO as a whole, not just Star Wars. But I want to talk about how they missed out on a lot this year. And I think that this year marks the 20-year anniversary for Revenge of the Sith, as well as the 10-year anniversary of The Force Awakens. And while we did technically get sets for these movies, I don't think that this was enough to celebrate this momentous occasion. So I want to talk about this in chunks. If you want to, you can find time codes and chapters down below if you want to hop around to the different sections. So what did they do for Revenge of the Sith? I think that they did a few things which are sort of also Clone Wars-y. For example, I like that we have Order 66, and I'm using air quotes here, sets, where you've got the ARC 170 that came out in January, and then later on we got the Plo Koon Jedi Starfighter. It's a microfighter though, so it's not really able to accompany that as much as it could, but it is cool that they have this sort of celebrating Revenge of the Sith. We also got the extremely overpriced 327th Star Corps clone troopers, which goes with the characters included in the Battle of Felucia Separatist MTT, which is cool, with Ayla Secure and Commander Bly for the first time there. So again, sort of an Order 66 connection there. And then also we have the Republic Juggernaut set, which is just obviously controversial on its own for the price, the design, but what that scene and those characters with the Galactic Marines and Ki-Adi-Mundi are known for is the UTAT. And I really think that it would have been great to get for the first time, but instead they chose this, and obviously all the other problems that comes with that. But again, it's another Order 66 set. I think the only set this year that's specifically celebrating the anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, surprisingly, is actually the Brickheads, which to me is extremely sad. While I like all the characters that we're getting in here, and we're getting like Padme pregnant for the very first time ever, it is still insane to me that this is the only specifically Revenge of the Sith set here. It is specifically the only set sort of celebrating it. And I look at like the characters included in here and I'm like, you don't want to have any minifigure play sets here of these guys? Also, just the design of the box. There's no anniversary logo to be found here, which I think is another real shame, because why not just slap that on here and celebrate? Just take that one little extra step forward and mark it that way. I think would have gone a really long way. So what could they have done for this? Any number of things. And I think that this is where my problems with Star Wars comes down to. And I think that they are designing things too late. If you've noticed the pattern, the UCS sets that we've been getting recently have always been like off a year or two. So like they celebrated Return of the Jedi's anniversary, and then the following year they did a big UCS set. Okay, well, how about for Attack of the Clones? Did they do anything? No, but this year we got Jango Fett's Starship for some reason. So I wonder, like, next year or the year after, are we gonna get some UCS set that's tied to Revenge of the Sith? I think just as a whole, while it's cool that they did the Order 66 stuff, the fact that you can't go and get, like, a Obi-Wan versus Anakin Duel on Mustafar set right now, whether it's a cool diorama or an actual play set, is baffling to me. Another really big missed opportunity, I think, is not having General Grievous versus Obi-Wan. And we've never had a full remake of the Boga and the wheel bike in a set together. We got the wheel bike remade, but it's like, how haven't they done this? And my friend Forsta did this incredible version with Kyle Janin and another incredibly talented custom set creator. They also came up with 2 other things that we've never gotten sets for, but are still extremely iconic, with the duel on Coruscant set between Yoda and Palpatine, and then also the fight between Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku rescuing the Chancellor, which would be so awesome. And another set that people have been dying to get a remake for is the Palpatine's arrest set. That's what people think of when they think of Revenge of the Sith. Those iconic fights and battles. There was nothing for Kashyyyk this year. It just feels like missed opportunity after missed opportunity here for that film. Now, for The Force Awakens, which some people obviously don't like the sequels, but here's the thing. That first one still was a huge success, revitalized Star Wars whether you like it or not, and all of those people that watched that as a kid are now 10 years older, are now adults who want to buy stuff. So yes, I understand doing 2 display sets with Kylo Ren's helmet and then also the shuttle, but that's it. Like, there was no brickheads for The Force Awakens, which would have been really cool, but I think just also, again, getting that iconic duel for Starkiller Base with Kylo and Rey would have gone a long way. A new X-Wing for Poe. Regardless of what you think of that movie, Poe is incredible in that black X-Wing. It's iconic. And getting BB-8, there's a rumor of BB-8 coming next year, but it's a year again too late. Instead, for some reason, we got a lot of Rise of Skywalker love this year, with the Advent calendar and even Palpatine being included in the book. So the sequels are starting to get a little bit more love with LEGO, but this was the time to really test the waters with celebrating this 10-year anniversary. But I'm not going to pitch as many sets for this because they really did milk the movie dry 10 years ago and following years, just getting literally anything and everything that appeared on screen. I'm looking at you, Quad Jumper. And those sets obviously would not sell well today, and I don't think some of those latter ones did. But there's still a love and desire for more sequel stuff, specifically from The Force Awakens. And I didn't realize this, but unlike what happened with all the minifigures in the $1,000 Death Star, where they had to remake all those basic outfits, the generic Force Awakens outfits are actually still in production. Because I forgot, the UCS Falcon is still out. And that comes with like classic Rey and Finn and old Han. So kind of funny that that stuff is still around all these years later. So really, for a Starkiller Base set, all they needed to do was make a new Kylo. So when I look back at this portfolio for LEGO and I see the battle droid with Stap that just should have released last year, or a Wicket buildable character, the UCS ATST, and as much as I love the Jango stuff, it's like this should have been a different year. But in my opinion, these 2 big anniversaries should have been treated differently by LEGO. But anyways, everyone, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Star Wars. What did you think of this year? I feel like it's a real mixed bag and just an overpriced bag. But comment it all down below. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you will have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.